How are we doing today, everyone? This is Ethan's Aviation. Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be answering the questions that you guys posted on my 100 subs special and the important announcement of the Air Transat A332 landing in Calgary. It's from my newest sub, the YachtaTube, who is asking me what airline that ceased operations would you like to come back? I'd say probably Canadian Airlines, because you know they went bankrupt a couple years back. Well, not really a couple, but either way, I mean, it'd be a competition for like Air Canada, because I do not want anyone commenting on this. I'm not the world's biggest fan of Air Canada. I've always loved WestJet. For anyone who loves Air Canada and is watching this video now, please do not comment that you hate me, or otherwise I will delete your comment as soon as I see it, for anyone who is wondering. So yeah, probably Canadian Airlines, just like a sub for Air Canada and WestJet, just to kind of get some variety in Canada, because really the only two major Canadian airlines are really Air Canada and WestJet, so Canadian Airlines would definitely be a good substitute for that. So dude from the YachtaTube, thank you so much for that question. That was an awesome one. So the next one comes from my good buddy Miles Airplane Fan, and he's asking, my question is, what is your biggest goal you want to reach with your YouTube channel? So what I commented back was, I said I'd probably be reaching 10,000 subs, maybe more, or just being able to like spot at Saint Martin or even Skiathos. But I mean, yeah, that's really all I can say about that one, because like I've got a ton of goals for my YouTube channel, but those are probably the main ones. So Miles Airplane Fan, but by the way, I've been absolutely loving your most recent uploads. I know I have not been commenting on them recently. Just because I'm not commenting doesn't mean I'm not watching. I absolutely love your videos. Keep uploading. Keep doing a fantastic job. And I will definitely try and get 10,000 subs. That may take a little while, but it will definitely happen soon. So, next one from Cork Aviation, who I'm collaborating with to see if we can help Heathrow, is, he says, my question is, what made you start your YouTube channel? So, it all started when I began spotting back in 2010. I was really young, and I was just trying to film some planes, and I wouldn't really get out to the airport very often because I was so young. So I'd be out there like maybe 5-6 times a year. And after watching the videos, I thought I need to like post them somewhere, but then I worried they'd be a little too like shaky. So I avoided creating a YouTube channel until, ironically, April Fool's Day of 2015. What else? When I uploaded my very first video, a short 1 minute and 40-second slideshow of the WestJet Boeing 737-600. As that is my very first video. It was not the world's best. But that was prior to my Hawaii trip in 2015, which I absolutely loved. And then because of the videos I got from that just inspired me to like create more and more videos. And now I've got over 10,000 views, almost 120 videos, and 107 subs, which is absolutely amazing. So Cork Aviation, thank you so much for that. Okay, who else? So this next one comes from United Flyer 22, and he's asking, what is my favorite airline and favorite aircraft to spot? Favorite airline, WestJet all the way. Although If anyone has asked me about an international airline, which I know C Jets did already, he said, "What's your favorite international airline?" Definitely Lufthansa, because I flew them from here to Frankfurt a couple of years ago. It was back in 2011. And the service was just fantastic. I just remember because I was young back at that time too, and I would just, and then they got me this like brownie that was probably as big as my iPhone, because I mean I've got an iPhone SE, so it was a pretty decently big one, and I just remember their flight attendants were just so chatty and like friendly, and then my dad was teaching me German to see if I could communicate with them well enough, and just it was a really great experience. So back to the question here. United Flyer 22, definitely. I love WestJet, definitely WestJet all the way. And my favorite aircraft is one that I have not filmed yet, would be an A340-600 from Lufthansa, because I'm really wishing they would operate from here to Munich. All right, guys. Good morning from Calgary. Welcome back to the second part of the Ethan's Aviation Q&A, because the second part of it cut out because the Canon camera died. So because of that, I'm just laughing because something's funny going on. Yeah, I'm going to be doing the other half today. So let's get to the questions here. So I'm going to kind of mix them up here. So Kyler from CJets is asking, what is your favorite airline outside of Canada? Definitely Lufthansa. Definitely. And then this other question I got was from Vienna Planes Spotting, who is asking me, what is or are your favorite planes? I actually have 3. One of them is the Boeing 737-600, the 757-200, and the 747-8. As you guys can tell, I'm a huge Boeing fan. Boeing all the way. And then this next one comes from Cathay A340 New York City planes spotting. And he's asking me, how do you feel about the increasing airport security, making it harder for us spotters to spot? So this one took me a little thinking, because I mean, as I've heard from other people, especially dude 84772, YYC is mostly spotter friendly. Like, there's a few designated areas where you can spot without being picked on by the security guys. But I think the one most important thing is that, I mean, it's definitely becoming harder, because there's like certain there's certain airports around the world that are like imposing harsher things on where you can and can't film from, and it's getting crazy, because I mean, we aren't doing anything wrong, right? Like, we're not doing anything wrong. We're just doing something that's a passion that we love, right? Like, we're not doing anything wrong. We're just doing what we love most. And that's just the beauty of it. So I hope I answered your question properly. If I did not, make sure you let me know in the comments. So this next one comes from JJW Antigua Aviation, who's a good friend of one of my subs, United American Fan 22. I think that's what his channel name is. And so JJW is asking me, if you had the time, would you start a model airport? If I had the time, I definitely would, because I have about 16 models, but I mean, right now I've got a pretty busy life, so I just don't think I would like have the time to just do it like
if I had the opportunity, then I definitely would. But I mean, I just don't think I'd have the opportunity. But if I did, definitely would. Fantastic question. So this next one comes from Vienna Plains Spotter, not Plains Spotting, and he's asking me, what is the rarest plane that you have ever caught? At Calgary, probably a Lear 25 with the fuel tanks on the wings that look kind of like missiles, because those planes are like from 1987 or something, and they are very, very old. But I mean, YYC gets them every odd time, and it's just really, really cool to just see them flying in and just watch them. Like, I've only caught one so far, but it's pretty cool just to be able to see some vintage airliners here. Okay, did I get everyone's question? I'm not sure if Heathrow Aviation gave me one, but if you did, please let me know in the comments if you did, and I will be sure to answer it on the next video. Shut up. Yeah, my volume was up on max, so it's really annoying me. So our last question, I think this is the last one, comes from my all-time favorite follower, Canadian Plane Spotter. And he's asking me, what is your favorite vintage airliner? Definitely the DC-9, because it's like flown so many years. It's logged a ton of flying hours. I'm not even sure how many. Just the sound of the engines on it. I mean, I know they're loud, but there's just something about the DC-9. Like, I've never actually flown on one. I wish I'd had the opportunity to before they got retired, but they are still flying for like private owners and stuff, and charters and stuff, and because Khalida Air still operates some. And yeah, it's one of those like planes where it's so well built that it just gets put into the books of his history. So the next question from Hong Kong Aviation, and he says, WestJet or Air Canada? You guys probably already know the answer. WestJet all the way. And I think I got everyone's question there. If I didn't get anyone's question, make sure you let me know in the comments, and I will reply to it as soon as I can. Also, as you guys may or may not know, Heathrow Aviation is going through a tough time right now, because a 7-year-old started quite heavily bullying him on one of his one of his streams. So I just really like it if you guys would just go and comment on one of his videos, just saying how much you love his videos, how much you really care that he gets his YouTube going again. He's going through a hard time now, so please give him some support. Other than that, I think that's about all I have to say, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Q&A. And I will hopefully see you guys in another video. Also, today, it is Saturday, July 21st, so I might be going out spotting today. I may or may not. Yeah, that's really about all I have to say, guys. So thank you so much for tuning into the Q&A, and I'll see you in the next video with Ethan's